Yes.
Call the meeting to order. Pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Open Public Meetings Act statement.
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting was forwarded to the official township newspapers posted on the bulletin board and township website on July 16, 2025. This meeting is being videotaped and will be on Channel 9.
Roll call.
Mr. Doyle?
Here.
Mr. Fiorella?
Here.
Mr. Marsh?
Here.
Mayor Bruno?
Here. Can I get a motion to open the public hearing on Resolution 11125, the municipal budget?
Motion open for public hearing.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Oh, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, I just wasn't sure. Yeah, is it better? Okay.
Can you
yeah,
turn it? Can
I
you-
can hear
Can you pull
me.
it down a little bit?
I mean, I can
You can hear
an
you?
echo. I can hear me.
I don't think everyone else can hear you.
I just want to say that, was there any changes or additions or things made to the budget since the last meeting? No? Okay. Because I didn't see anything that, my question was, did we ever find out anything about the contracts with Newfield and Una, whether we can renegotiate that?
Whether we can?
Yeah, I mean, is it, well, when I see, I mean, I'm just gonna, let's go with the bond where we need extra things for our police department. And I just don't think that they're paying their fair share, to be honest with you. I mean, I just think that, the costs have gone up and we need more equipment and we need more vehicles. And in order to do so, I think they have to own up to it. And I just think that we need to really take a look at that, what they're paying. I mean, I think it should be fair. We just had a major incident, and it pulled a lot of weight, on our town, when they have to go to other towns. So they get the same great service that we do, but they don't pay nowhere near what we pay. And I'm just concerned about that, because we need these things. I mean, obviously, your 25 computers are needed. I mean, maybe they're shot after all these years, and I'm assuming you need one in every car.
Yes.
In order to
Is that how it
keep
works,
up with
Matt?
all the information.
One in
that-
each car, computer?
Right. From what I understand, that in order for them to access the information, they have to be equivalent with the other stuff that's coming in, and an update, just like I know most of us do with our own businesses and things like that. So I just think that we need to look at their contract and be able to make some concessions so that we can come up with this, because I think we're paying
I
more
left
than we...
I left that next door, but they're 5-year and then they're renegotiated, the last 5 are renegotiated, re-examined.
Because there was a
Potentially
significant
raising,
increase
an
when we
increase.
renewed it.
They both, well, the Newfield one reverted back to the original 5-year deal and added 5 more on the end.
But at the end of 5 years, it's review what the costs were and then
Correct.
move forward to the next 5.
So that's, after 5 years, that's what will occur.
I don't know. I just don't see it. It's just, to me, I think we should be paying a third. I mean, we have the
Well,
courts and all
wasn't the
that.
analysis based on call volume and...
Call volume and number of officers, too.
Right.
There's only 2 to 1.
I mean, there was a comprehensive review of those factors.
What was the increase from the previous contract? It was substantial.
$100,000, I believe.
I don't know. In the budget, it looks like about 25,000 from last year. From
That's,
Newfield.
that's for Newfield.
For Newfield, but- right. Now, are they not on our courts as well? Because
Newfield,
Well, I
no.
noticed
Butte
Butte
is-
pays
we
for
do
the
their courts.
Right, but we don't do Newfields?
We don't keep their money, though. Newfields, we do their courts and keep their money.
I don't know. It just doesn't seem, I know that there's probably some other way to get this, but with the need for us to bond, and we're bonding as Franklin Township residents, it's the same thing, like, I'm in Malaga, and they used our whole firehouse and everything else for this latest episode that they had to stage, and to protect our officers, which is fine, but they never pay anything in their fire district tax either. There's things that we're using, and I just think that we're not looking at the whole picture as to what it really matters to have the protection, pay for it, the increases, the salary increases, all the things. And I think that we're paying more of a load. And I just want to say that.
Thank you.
In Marshall 67 New Route, just a couple points to ponder. These are things I've brought up in the past. But in the March 11 meeting, Mr. Doyle, you had stated that now that our budget is under control, we can start fixing stuff in the township. If our budget is under control, why do we have to exceed the municipal cap?
I believe there was changes since then.
And the unforeseen issues that we did
Since
not know
March.
about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's why I'm asking. So what were the changes then that would cause this kind of substantial increase?
The lawsuit.
One lawsuit?
Lawsuit was
three.
huge. That was,
But the one was the major.
it was a major lawsuit that we had nothing to do with this committee. It was a county-sponsored program that we ended up paying for.
Called purchase.
And we got destroyed on it. Had nothing to do with us.
When you look at that lawsuit, it's very similar to the amount we're bonding, meaning it wiped out our surplus.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. The other, I talked about some of the salaries before, and I'm just going to go back and use the administrator salary for example. You realize what we pay per household as opposed to other towns for our administrators? Has anybody ever looked into that? We pay $31.47 per household for a salary. Just to give you an example. Washington Township pays $8.69.
How many houses do they have in Washington Township?
Washington Township has 18,320.
There you go.
But I understand that, but it still comes down to it's the only way you can statistically prove it.
You're comparing apples and oranges.
No,
I mean, you have
not understanding
some,
the question, I guess.
what's that?
I said, I guess you're not understanding the question.
Well,
It
you
still
can look at
comes
it that
down to-
way. I look at you, don't understand what you're talking about.
Well, again, maybe one day we'll have a class. Let's sit down with it.
Yeah, okay, do that.
$5.64.
How many residents do they have?
That's- Residents, well, residents can't go by because you have to split out children. You have-
How many households do they have? Marvin?
Households, they have 21,900. So
Slightly more than we have, probably,
They
right?
they do. I mean, our households are 5,668. But it still doesn't equate where you actually take that salary and figure out how many residents, and you break out the kids, and I do have those numbers too. You break them out, what the adults pay, and what the household pays, and how many square miles we have, and what you oversee. We're drastically overpaying by over $48,000. Again, that's not gonna lower our taxes drastically, but these are things that you as the committee have to look at to make sure that what you understand is what you're actually voting on, you understand where it's going, and why taxpayers can get upset with certain things and things that don't look right.
So just a quick question, you're saying 21,000 homes in Vineland,
Yes.
$5,
Yes.
that's $105,000?
Right.
You better check your math.
Well,
Bob Dickinson makes $250,000 a year.
Then their budget is illegal, they post it every year. That's on the same as we put, so you're saying the budgets that are posted by townships and cities are not
I
accurate?
can tell you to check first, because I know Bob Dickinson makes $250,000 a year.
That roof's leaking.
And that may be the case, but that's not what they put in their budget.
Are they hiring?
When we do raise
It's leaking.
Chief and administrator, we look at, we don't just make a number of it, we look at a bunch of towns in South Jersey, similar size. For the police, we used to call on them.
Right.
Because if you have an area with a lot more crime, and a lot more police, it's
There's gonna be more
less,
demand, right.
As opposed to out Homer, where there's more cows than people. So we do look at it, and we do, you can split the pie 50 different ways. At the end of the day, we look at what does a surrounding town in South Jersey make, and what does it take for us to have qualified people? They're the two things we look at.
Right.
We don't look at cost per head, because at the end of the day, we can't tell him we're gonna give him $7 a resident. That's not a real number. I understand what you're doing, but what about, you know, you can cut the pie a million different ways.
Okay, and you can always find ways to justify your argument, still, I mean, that can happen. But these are things you can actually look at, and like I said, you can look at the salaries of what each town is paying.
But we've
Well, we
done,
did.
he's telling me we've done
I
that.
know that, well, then, again, but if you're doing that, we are in the top 10% of the state for administrative salaries. Top 10% is a whole world community.
Top 10%?
Top 10%. We're 9.3%.
You mean as relative to the population?
Total salary.
No,
Yes.
impossible.
It is not impossible. And it's easily defined and you can look it up. But again, if the budgets are not accurate, then that of course justifies a different type of stuff.
I think the accuracy, inaccuracy is a broad word. Sometimes there's multiple portions of an individual's salary where we're not that broad-based. So that may be one of the reasons.
Right, and then some you have to.
Probably paid for wearing different hats.
Right, I understand, like Clayton, you have an actual administrator.
And also-
They use different people to cover a job, so it's tougher because those.
Part of the salary is administrator, part of it comes from the electric utility, part of it comes from.
Right, that's what I mean.
Land is
Yeah.
So you have to add all of them together.
Let's not say that violence posting something that's inaccurate, it just may not be comprehensive. May
And
not
that's
have all
possible,
the
and it could be the
information.
way they break it down, but it's just what they posted the budget, the same line item we do, is what I'm going on. So if that's the case, then.
We don't have any utilities here, so
Right.
it'll be just in one spot, where, like I said, even, I work in other towns as well, my salary's split under different line items,
Right.
things like that.
But I understand, I mean, that could be the case.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Harry Kennedy, 1578 Fries Mill Road. Mr. Mayor, Township Committee, remember Mr. Fiorello was going to look up those numbers for liability insurance. I don't know if you got a chance, Mark, to do that?
Robin did, yes.
Robin did, yes?
What we were able to find out from the insurance company is all of the other towns have the same rates that we do, but we also have different agreements with the JIF. We have co-insurance and our $75,000 deductible. So for each case, we're not just paying for insurance, we're paying for part of the legal fees and the settlements as well, and $75,000 deductible for each case. So that's why our insurance amount is much higher than maybe other towns that don't have as many cases.
Well, again, and, you know, maybe it isn't as high as many other towns that have as many cases because it is going to be risk-based in terms of what your premium is. And I did get a chance, Mark, to take a look at the changes town by town, and
Okay.
it was interesting. I looked at Clayton. They went from 187,000 to 193. It's about 3%, a little bit more than 3. Glassboro went from 266. They went down to 256. Glassboro's another place with a large college town, sometimes some suits involving police. I looked at Buna, which I know is near and dear to you. It went from 177 to 198, about 10%. And I looked at Mantua. It actually went down. So Franklin Township, despite even Mr. Marsh's insight as to lawsuits, a lot of other towns in the county had the same program and had the same exposure and had the same problem. And he's right, that did contribute to the costs. I'm not discounting that. But Franklin Township had an increase of almost 40% in its liability insurance. And that's partially because of how well the town is run in terms of dealing with the problem of suits. And as I said, it's a very significant problem. When you have a 40% increase, I know it's sort of an interesting anomaly we can talk about. But it's a very significant problem. The second thing I'd like to talk about is salaries. Are there any people that are exempt employees being paid for any other job beyond their exempt employee status? In other words, is the clerk being paid for any other job that the clerk does that's not the clerk? Is she paid for JIF as a representative for the township for JIF? Is the administrator paid for anything in terms of purchasing agent or anything else? All salaries are directly only. The clerk's salary is the clerk's salary, and I know Jonathan very clearly said there would be no more overtime or comp time this year to exempt employees, and thank you for doing that. But there are no sidebar salaries for anybody. How about cars? Are there any cars that any exempt employees drive
Take home?
from work? Yeah.
No.
Nobody takes a car home at all?
Well, I mean, Jared probably.
Yeah, well, Jared
Public
is
Works.
Public Works, and he's on call for an emergency
Correct.
situation, and the police, I would imagine, at
Certain-
sometimes take
certain-
cars home.
Certain officers,
also.
correct.
Right. The last point I'd like to ask about is the other expenses for the administrator's office. It's quite a significant number in terms of all the other numbers for all the other administrative offices. What exactly is that in terms of a breakdown?
There are a lot of different things that get charged to the administrator's line, the copier leases and telephone leases, different postage machine lease, different things like that, all get charged under the administrator's other government functions.
The actual...
They're not
No.
per department.
Right.
They're all
Okay, so
charged
everything
there.
is generally done in
Through the
town,
general government.
Goes back through there. I mean, expended or paid was 172, went up to 99. I know you're not doing zero-based budgeting, but you're looking at what copier expenses or what new things might come in under that during the year. The final point I'd like to make is this. Again, a lot of the problems are problems that are systematic, but you have a 7-cent increase this year. 7-cent increase in terms of the tax rate is the largest tax increase that I can remember. And I guess I'm the oldest living former mayor, Township Committee, whatever. Yeah, I know. They go on forever. But 7 cents is the largest number I can ever remember that has been imposed upon the taxpayers of Franklin Township. I would try to do a little bit better job in terms of our liability insurance. I would try to do a little bit better job in terms of our line item payments. Thank you.
Thanks. I want to make a point. You brought up the pro champs thing about other towns. It hasn't hit other towns yet, but I'm sure it will. I think we were the first one that they came after in the county that they came after. We have a motion to close. Oh, I'm sorry.
Nancy Kennedy, 711 St. George Street. Just to follow up briefly on what Mr. Kennedy was saying, I have a couple questions about how the budget was put together this year. So, who was responsible for creating the budget?
Responsible?
So did you do it with members of the Township Committee or with members of the administrative staff?
Mostly
Both.
the administrator and speaking to the committee as well.
Okay, who were the two budget committee members?
John Keane and myself.
John Kennedy. Okay. And so you pretty much put it together with input from Mr. Finley and from the rest of the township?
Brian, Matt, the department heads.
And with the department heads?
Right, they give me a proposal, their requests, their budget requests from each department, and we go through that.
And then once you got their requests, would you make decisions as to what would be given and what wouldn't, or would you go to the committee?
Well, we can talk to the department head and see if it's something that they need or they don't need, or we could wait for next year, or, because sometimes they put in there, of course, a very high number, usually, on what they're requesting. And then we see what's financially acceptable, what we can do.
There's needs and wants,
Sure. And I may have missed the answer to this. I think Mr. Kennedy asked if any of the administrative staff are receiving salaries for anything other than their main title, so to speak. And I don't think he gave you a chance to answer. I think he was moving on to the next point. So I just wanted to clarify.
No, they're not.
Okay, so nobody receives a stipend other than what their salary is what their salary is. Nobody gets a stipend outside of that.
Well,
No, the only.
Jared will be, right? No. Did he get a stipend for the spray license?
There are some in the police department.
OEM, I don't, there's people who have multiple titles, like Robin, with the CFO and PPA, but that's all
That's
under
just
one
one.
umbrella of salary.
Yeah.
Gina Hayes is.
Tax collector.
Personnel, tax collector, that's all under the umbrella of one salary.
Okay.
There's no stipends, like I said, except for some things in the police department.
And anyone who gets one is in their contract, so
Right.
it's written out.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are some contracts that have employees who may be receiving stipends beyond what is under their specific title.
The only one right now, I think, is police, and that's because they have things that are paid to them through certain times of the year, for college and things like that.
Okay, perfect, thank you very much.
Taking a motion to close public portion.
Motion to close.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve resolution 11125?
Motion to approve R 11125.
Mr. Doyle? Yes. Mr. Fiorella?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion to open the first public portion for resolutions and ordinances below?
Make a motion for open public portion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to close the first public portion?
Motion to close.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 11225, approval to submit a grant application and execute a grant contract with the New Jersey DOT for Williamstown road improvements.
Motion R 11225.
Mr. Doyle? Yes. Mr. Fiorella?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Resolution 11325, approval to submit a grant application and execute a grant contract with the New Jersey DOT for Dutch Mill Road Phase 4. Six, wow. Improvements.
Motion R 11325.
Mr. Doyle? Yes. Mr. Fiorella?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion to introduce the following ordinances? The public hearing will be on August 12th, 2025. First is Ordinance 1025. It's a bond ordinance appropriating $2,928,500 and authorize the issuance of $2,782,075 in bonds and notes of the Township of Franklin for various capital improvements or proposes authorized to be undertaken by the Township of Franklin and the County of Gloucester, New Jersey.
Motion O 1025.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And again, that hearing will be on August 12th, 2025. Can I get, what?
We're going to do a roll call, if that's okay with you.
Okay, can I get, I'm sorry. Roll call on ordinance 1025?
Mr. Doyle? Yes. Mr. Fiorella?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Motion to open the second public portion for any comments.
Motion second public portion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to close the second public portion?
Motion to close.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for coming out.